Okay guys, and welcome to part 3 of employer-sponsored work visas. In part 1 we went over the current system in 2017. Part 2 we were looking at the changes that will be occurring in March 2018. And in this video I'll give you an outline of who and where these changes have the most impact. Let's get right into it. What we want to do is focus on 3 main groups that are impacted most by these changes. And they are people with no work experience, we've got the people that have an occupation on the short-term occupation list, and also businesses and regional applications. So if we look at those people with no work experience, generally they would be international students or people that have just graduated from a university overseas. Because there are new requirements for having experience, even for the temporary work visa, you need at least 2 years experience after you qualify. This will mean fresh graduates will not be able to apply for an employer-sponsored work visa here in Australia after March 2018. There might be a chance that if you've been studying in Australia, you might be able to apply for a graduate visa, which can give you, in some circumstances, 18 months to 3 or 4 years. However, this might not give you enough experience to be able to apply for an employer-sponsored work visa after that. It really does make it tough for those people that don't have the experience in their occupation. Now, the next group that are impacted most by the changes are those people with the occupation on the short-term occupations list. It makes it very difficult for them to apply for a permanent visa. In most circumstances, they will not be able to move on to a permanent visa pathway. The current system here in 2017, there is a pathway for people that have been working for 2 years on a temporary visa. They can apply in some circumstances for a permanent visa if they are on that short-term list, but that pathway is shut off for people on the short-term lists. And this means that you can only renew it once before you have to go back offshore. So it really is a big impact. It might actually create more applicants for state-nominated visas where their English is at an acceptable level. The state nomination process is not reliable as an employer-sponsored work visa. So the last group that is impacted by this is businesses. There is more upfront costs for a business. It is a bigger commitment for a business. There is a higher cost of sponsorship. It does make it a bit easier for bigger businesses, especially businesses that have a large payroll. Now they don't have to pay as much into the training fund. So businesses are impacted in that way. You've got regional areas, there are less occupations to choose from, and there are more restrictions on applicants. So it's going to be a lot more difficult for regional businesses to find suitable applicants. Just a little bit more of who are winners and who are losers. The losers are going to be the international students and those people that come over and study here and then look to get a work visa. So really it's cutting off the opportunities for those people. No huge changes for big business. It may be good for universities, as you might get students looking to study at university so they can look at doing a graduate visa after they graduate from university and then looking for an employer-sponsored work visa after they graduate from university. It seems a bit restrictive for regional and small businesses. I'd say it would be good for engineering and IT businesses because previously the training fund would be 1 or 2% of their payroll, which would be quite significant. But now having to pay a fee per applicant, they might be able to sponsor just a few people. We'll also see that it could be bad for hospitality and trades. And that's because there is no real pathway to permanent residency and also the high cost of having to pay for individuals up front because generally they're small businesses. At the moment, cafe managers are offered in some circumstances a pathway to permanent residency. But these changes in March 2018 won't allow those sorts of occupations to get a pathway to permanent residency. It will make it a lot more difficult for hospitality organisations to to find the right people. In some senses, it would be good for Australians because the money upfront is going towards training Australians for these particular types of jobs. So really there's a mixed bag in what it means for different people, and I hope you have a better idea of what these changes mean and what they mean for you. If you have any questions, then please feel free to contact us. I'm always coming out with new videos. If you can give me any ideas of what type of videos you'd like to see in the future, please put a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. If you can like, and look, I hope to see you very soon. Okay, thank you, bye.